Where'd you grow up in Oakland?
I'm from the 80s, but I came all through.
And when you say all through, meaning what?
This used to be my granny house right here. I'm gonna turn around so y'all can see. This where my whole family from. That's where I started at. That's where I was born at. 1100 D Street. This house right
Alphabet.
here.
So this one big.
When I was younger, you feel me? I was all around pretty much. When I moved to 164th when I was, I want to say 7. I was going over there, so I went to Edendale and shit for middle school. That's where I met mostly been like a lot of people from the East. That's where I met. That's where I went to school with them at there, Hillside, shit like that. You feel me? And then high school. That's when moms moved the nigga away. I came back when I was 17. I graduated at 17 and came back.
Tell us a little bit of something that people should know, like some of your fans or people who don't know you.
I think people get the wrong conception of me sometimes. Like they think that we like hella cocky and shit, like cause like how we dress, like our attitudes, or like how we talk and shit. But it's not even that. It's just that what I'm saying. Like when I was younger, you feel me? I was a motherfucker that used to get teased a lot. You feel me? So growing up,
teased as far as like not having the fit, the clothes and shit like that.
Yeah, like when I was in middle school, shit, my mom got my shoes from Durant Square. I got pictures of N1 slip-on that don't even say N1. So it's like if you didn't have the Jordans, but if you had Air Maxes, you had Pumas, you might have had, you know what I'm saying, some other shit like that, then you would have still been cool. You feel me? But the Jordans just mean that you was just a different, you know what I'm saying, you up here. Like if you had Nikes, Air Forces, New Balance, all that shit. I didn't understand the importance of Jordan when I was younger. Like I just wanted them because everybody else had them. So you want to fit in and shit. You don't want to be the nigga that's left out getting roasted. Like mom's had a nigga. I remember I had some FUBU boots. My cousin Tubby used to roast them motherfuckers. Him and Chippers, they used to roast them motherfuckers every day, bro. And to the point where I just like hit them. I never wore them again. I don't know where the fuck happened.
Let's fast forward. When did you start rapping?
When I was 17, I really started taking it serious with trying to make it a career. I was about 19. Like I used to be at school freestyling and shit. Like I don't like freestyling, but that time I wasn't tripping. Like you feel me, freestyling, fucking around. And pretty much what happened is that you feel me, finding fun and making beats. Like I used to make beats when I first started, so like I used to find fun in making beats and rapping over them, and you feel me, just trying to come up with shit, like you feel me. And that's just how I started off. Then me and Killer used to come to my house and shit. Like my brother Lee had ended up coming up on the studio equipment, and he ended up giving it to me and shit. Took it to my mom's house in Modesto, so we had put the studio at my mama's house. So like Killer and Lee used to come out there and shit and record and all that shit. And you feel me, that's how it kind of started right there. When me and Killer, we just kind of started right there. Feel me? We was called the Block Knocks at first before we were Repty. So like that's where it kind of like developed. Like okay, we can rap. You feel me? We can make songs and people actually like them. You feel me? And then it went from that to Chippers and the NHT boys. They had brought us to a show in Stockton one time, and we performed at the candy shop before it got closed down. And the bitches was on us. And me and Kev was like, shit, fuck it, we about to start rapping after that. After that, that's when we took it serious. Like shit, you feel me? It was just the feeling of being on stage and all eyes on you. You know what I'm saying?
The attention.
Like, yeah,
the
like,
right attention.
The
like,
right
not
attention.
The, not the wrong attention.
Yeah, like the right attention. So that's where that kind of transpired, and that's where my love for. I always had a love for music, but that's where I really wanted to step my shit up and really be an artist.
Has the name always been Paidro Classic?
Hell no, I had like 50 names, bro. My first rap name was Lil Leezy, cause like Wayne was Weezy and shit. So 5th grade, I used to call myself Lil Leezy. Sidetrack for a second, but my first rap name was Leezy. Then it was Super Sick With It Lee, cause my real name is Lee. So I really used to go by Super Sick With It Lee. You feel me? And then when me and Killer became the Block Knocks, I took my middle name, which is Elijah, and I shortened it and put Lodge, and I went by Young Lodge for hella long. You feel me? So like, if you look up Block Knocks, I was hella high one day off a pill. This is where Paidro Classic happened. I was hella high off a pill. You feel me? I was broke as fuck, and I was with my brother Lee. You feel me? We was on our way. I forgot where we was on our way to. Probably doing some shit we wasn't supposed to do. So we riding this shit, and I'm like, I was off a pill, and I'm like, man, you know what, bro? I'm finna start selling dope. Fuck it. And I'm like, shit, if I start selling dope, my name gonna be Paidro. You feel me? So then, for like 2-3 weeks, I was just going by the alias Paidro. You feel me? Like meeting bitches and shit, I started going by it, and it just stuck. Like, you feel me? So then, at the time, remember my name was still old school.
Mm-hmm.
It was still old school whiskey. So I tried to figure out a way that I could take the Paidro and turn it into something. So I'm like, all right, it couldn't be Paidro old school because that just sound hella weak. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So then I started thinking like, all right, when you think of old school shit, what words come up? Timeless, classic. You feel me? Shit like that. So I'm like, oh, I could name it Paidro Classic. But you can't just have a meaning when people ask you and shit. I can't just be like, I was off a pill. So like what made me stick with the name was when you think of the name Paidro, you think of dope. You think about a dope man, or that's typically what you think about when you think about Paidro. And classic is like timeless shit, like shit that'll never fall off. So my name just means dope that'll never fade away. You feel me? Like I got the dope that never fade away on Paidro Classic.
Paidro Classic.
So that's where that came from. That's how all that happened. But you have to understand the other names to get that name because it's.
So growing up in Oakland and living in the 80s, well, just growing up in the 80s, how did that make you as a person? Like, how does that like reflect on you today?
Truthfully, I didn't really grow up in the 80s. So what it was is that, what I'm saying, my family is all from the 80s and shit like that. I was there till I was like 7, but I was always going back and forth, like coming to fuck with Killer. Killer was always in the 80s and shit. So I used to come back fucking with him and, going to the boys club and all that type of shit, fucking with your cousins and shit. But my family was already still rooted there, you feel me?
Gotcha.
So when my granny sold that house, she's moved over here to where I'm about to take you now. She moved over here to Maybell, you feel me? And, nigga used to go back and forth and shit. But that's how that was. So when I told you before, I'd be all over, like, you feel me? It's, so I was in the 80s, but I was also, you feel me, fucking around in the 90s sometimes. You feel me? Being the Dubs, shit like that. And then I used to be on 19th and Market in the West, you feel me? Because that's where my cousin used to stay at, you feel me? So we used to all be over there and shit. But other than that, I pretty much was all around. Like, I never was one person that, I can't sit in one spot.
Gotcha.
I never was a nigga that could just sit in the nigga hood all day. Even in the 80s, like, I just can't sit there all day. Like, I gotta go see what else is happening on this day, because if I'm just stuck on what's going on in this block, I'm not gonna know what's going on in the city. You feel me? So you just gonna be a motherfucker that's lost. It made me though, me being able to go to all these places, now being older, you feel me, in the era where everybody wanna be street and everybody wanna be tough and everybody wanna be gangster, I can go to a lot of these areas, you feel me? Like, I could go to Kick It in Sobrani with my partner, you feel me? I can go to Ghost Town, you feel me? I could go to the 80s, you feel me, and be comfortable, you feel me? I ride around every day by myself. Like, I don't ride around with hella niggas like that. If I'm with the Repties, it's because we going to do something, or, we might be chilling or whatever, but for the most part, shit, I be by myself, you feel me? I move by myself. If I ain't with my brother Lee, or Killer, you know what I'm saying, when Killer around or whatever, or Keith, if I ain't with them, if I ain't with Lee every day, then I'm by myself, or I'm with a bitch. You feel me? There ain't no reason to be around hella niggas, because you don't know what niggas doing when you ain't around, and that could fuck you up potentially, you know what I'm saying?
True. When it comes to music, who are some of the people you look up to or that inspire you to make the music you make today?
The only niggas that, alright, when I was coming up, the only nigga that inspired me to rap was DMX. That's the only nigga that inspired me.
Why DMX?
Because he got pain in his shit. You feel me? DMX ain't rap about no bullshit. He telling you life, raw and rugged. You feel me? But coming up though, it was DMX though. DMX had that raw pain. That was what my mama listened to. My mom listened to that shit. That's why I was so stuck on that. But more so R. Kelly, Mary J. Blige. That's the music that I listen to. You feel me? So like rapping is kind of like poetry. You feel me? So like the best poets to me is like Mos Def. You feel me? Tribe Called Quest. Like that's the shit that my mama had me listening to. You feel me? And that's what made my lyrics kind of like grow from the basic rap, that the repeating yourself shit, to, damn, I passed the house up too. I ain't gonna go. Shit, fuck it. From that to bullshit that people listen to now. So it's like, that's why my music, I feel like a lot of people ain't caught on to it yet, because I talk about my real life. I talk about pain and shit that I went through. That's because that's the shit that I listened to coming up. Like, you feel me? When I got, I want to say 16, 17, no, I'm 15, matter of fact, Carter 2 came out. I started listening to Wayne hella much. I used to like him, like Lights Out. He had, that was like one of my favorite CDs, Lights Out. That was the first CD I bought, like with my own money, is Lights Out by Lil Wayne. But like, DMX is the nigga that made me want to start rapping. Wayne is the nigga that made me want to get my bars in. You feel me? DMX made me realize that it was okay to speak your feelings on a song. And it's okay to be to say how you feel, because you're a human.
It's okay to be human.
Yeah.
Act human.
Motherfuckers try to act like they inhuman. Motherfuckers try to act like they invincible. And you can't be, bro. Sometimes you gotta cry, bro. Sometimes you hurt, bro. Sometimes you sad. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't realize that everybody wanna be hella hard all the time. So, you know, my musical influence came from a good person, I guess. You know what I'm saying? I say DMX is the perfect person to be influenced by music. No matter what they say about that nigga right now, musically, niggas can't fuck with him, bro. To me.
Now, when you speak about the pain DMX talks about in his music, your music also has some pain in it as well.
Yeah.
Would you like to talk about that, as far as like some of the things you went through, maybe as a child or a teenager or as an adult?
I experienced the worst thing that you could ever experience as a kid is losing your parent. And you know what I'm saying? Well, I ain't gonna say the worst thing, because it's worse, you know, getting raped and molested, all that type of shit. But as far as like a general kid, like losing your parent, you feel me? Growing up without missing a parent. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's people say like everybody deal with that type of shit, but that's not some normal shit that you should deal with. Especially when I'm going to my partners' houses and they got their mom and dad. You feel me? They got a structured family, household, marriage, all that shit. I ain't never seen my mama get married. You feel me? And I got a song about it. I just ain't release it, or you feel me, even let her hear it. You feel me? But I got a song talking about that, because I feel like me as a man, not seeing nobody love my mama, or like, you know what I'm saying, being in a relationship with my mama is the reason why I am with women that I am today. You feel me? The reason why I don't go and commit to female, because ain't nobody committed to my mama. Ain't no female worth anything more than my mama. So if she don't get it, don't no other female deserve it, to me. But even though that's a wrong way of thinking, but that's how, you know. Go to the studio, brother.
Love you, brother.
Appreciate it. But yeah, these my niggas over here, feel me? Just fucking around.